Okay, so today is the 24th. The big crazy rain was on the 21st, so it's been 3 days. This carpet is almost dry. The floor is pretty dry. I've got a lot of stuff to do today, and I'll be walking through that as we go. Um, so, what I did 2 days ago, the day after all of the crazy rain, was I went in. It was kind of late the night that I went, but I got a bunch of denatured alcohol. Would have been nice to get gallons instead of quarts, but whatever. So first thing I did was I took one of those and I distributed it all the way around the bedroom edges, everywhere that was damp and dank, anywhere that looked like it could potentially be moldy. Threw some onto the carpet um, under the dresser because that carpet is what stops the water from coming in more. It's kind of the thing. We realized the carpet was wet initially, pulled the carpet out, and it turned out the carpet was the plug keeping the water from coming up. But we also didn't like the idea of having this dank carpet all the time. Like that's kind of a health hazard too. Um, so basically, the bedroom got a quart of alcohol. This room, I tossed a quart onto the carpet. I threw some down where the wet, muddy spots were. Basically, anywhere that there was still standing water, I threw a whole bunch down on the other side where Princess is sitting. Made sure that it got into the cracks and down underneath a little bit. And then I ran a fan on that, so that's got a brick or a cinder block you can kind of see there sitting on it. That's holding down some of the ends. Not that they really started to fan up or anything, to dog ear or whatever, but in order to prevent that while it was wet with the alcohol, you put a weight on it to hold it in place, so it's all pushed down there. So today's activities are going to consist of as far as the alcohol went, it took 2 days to get the smell out. It still smells like the room has just been painted, even though none of that has happened. So what I did was I opened up yesterday. I opened the chimney damper and let some airflow go that way, and it pulled some fumes out. Um, so basically, there's probably a little bit of dampness on this carpet yet. What I think I'm going to do here is, well, the first thing I know I have to do is um, vinegar and borax. When I went shopping for the alcohol, I got the vinegar, no problem. I actually had to go to a second store to find the borax because it was completely out at Walmart. And I did find a few boxes and left some on the shelf. I didn't get all of it. Uh, Bought the squirt bottle. So the thing with today's plan is once I start spraying the borax vinegar solution through this spray bottle, I'm going to have to empty the bottle out and run water straight through the sprayer to try and keep it from clogging. And even then, it may still clog. Once the crystal's dry, this becomes useless. So I've got 1 day with one spray bottle to get this all. So what I'm going to do is I've got 4 cups of water heating in the microwave. It's going to be super heated. I've got about 2 cups of borax powder in an old jug that previously had water in borax, and it was so super saturated that once it cooled and sat for like a year or two, um, the borax recrystallized, precipitated out of the water. So I'm going to repeat that with some extremely hot water. I'm going to stir in as much of the borax as possible, and then I'm going to add the vinegar into that, and then I'm going to kind of uh, mix between the two to keep the entire jug. Basically, I'm going to take whatever of this jug I can fit into the other jug. I'm going to pour it into there, shake it around real good, and I'm going to pour it into here, and then add some more of the other until I've got a full gallon of super saturated borax vinegar. There's going to be some water, obviously, but mostly vinegar. And so what's going to happen is I'm going to go all of these little areas where the water was, where there's a risk of mold. I know the floor itself will be fine, but the walls need to be looked at. So what I'm going to do is spray the vinegar borax solution pretty much to gently mist coat all of the wall. Probably going to put some sprayed really good mist behind everything. Make sure everything is well covered. Try and get underneath. And of course, eventually when this is all done, I'm going to end up dashing a whole bunch of the powder around like I did before, just because it also helps with ants. So anyways, then I got to do the undersides of the 3 sections of sofa that I've got here. And I've also got to do the backside of all of this, where it goes near a wall or will be near darkness. This is all going to be gently mist coated as well, just to guarantee that we have no mold. Probably going to do the under cushion area where the cushions rest as well. And then once that is all completely dry, then I can start reassembling the furniture. In between this, I think I'm going to rearrange some of the firewood or something there and make room that this carpet can go all the way down. And I'm going to actually bust out the carpet vacuum and sanitize this carpet, this rug, before I throw everything back together. So some point here by the end of today or tonight, this should be able to be reassembled back into the video game sitting room that I had before. My cats will be happy, certainly, because this I've cut off about 400 square foot of the house from them, and that's just not acceptable, apparently. So what's going on here? Running about the same humidity. Both of these were off all night. I just let it be off. Got some areas here that are... That line across there is soap. There was a whole bunch of ant killer back in there, and this dark cinnamon area kind of, I don't know if that's soap and cinnamon or if it stayed damp. I poured a whole bunch of alcohol all around here, so this should be pretty well dried out. This is a lot drier than it was. You can see it's just not damp like it was. So that is today's plan. Once I get some stuff done, I'll surely bring updates. Okay, so it's been about 2 hours since the previous video segment. And what I've done is I've now squirted about... That's about there, huh? I've squirted about a half gallon of super saturated vinegar with borax. Sorry. Vinegar super saturated with borax. I've gotten about 18 inches along the floor, wall lines, woodworks. I was kind of careful not to get too much on the bed here, but everything's been sprayed. Got all the way around all of this. Nice and damp in there. All the little nooks and crannies and corners and everything I've been around. So I got about a half gallon between this room and the little bit that I've done in here. The doors were the worst because of these pockets. I knew that there would be a likelihood of mold. And that one, when I opened up, there was a whole bunch growing on it, which is kind of typical. It's something I've been used to. So on the pocket doors, what I'm actually doing is coating the entire, you might be able to see there, it's kind of damp, coating the entire door with the mist. Top, bottom, front, and back, whatever I can reach, spraying into here because there's bare concrete where the water can make contact. And you can see all the residue of the rest of the spray is on the floor here. But so what that does is I've got everything in here. This has all been sprayed back and around. The vinegar kills the immediate mold, and then it dries, and the borax recrystallizes as the vinegar dries. And you then have a boric acid, acetic acid residue coating everything in the range of where, as long as you spray where the mold is likely to be. The borax basically retards any future growth. It prevents future growth. So you are able to knock it back, and this works for any kind of mold in your house, black mold, green mold, whatever. So I've gotten like this area in here I kind of sprayed at. I'm still waiting on this a bit. It seems like it's dry, so I went ahead and spritz coated the entire bottom. I had to do a little stronger up here just to kind of get the pre-rearrangement mold protection going here. And then, of course, I'll probably still end up shampooing this rug. So sprayed along the woodwork and along the door. I got the inside in the living room as well on the first go round. This has been all hosed really good. I'll probably spray a whole bunch more down into the cracks. The whole bottom of the screen here. All this stuff was in place because I'd ended up spraying Raid ant killer, and I don't want the cats to get sick, so I made it kind of a cordoned off. This has all been sprayed down in here, so this side of the inside of the sofa has been, on the sectional, has been hit. I hit the whole back side on the vinyl. Sprayed all along here, spritzed around here, spritzed at the bottom, spritzed at the crack in between the speakers here and over there. I've fogged thoroughly behind and beneath the television, down into all these nooks and crannies. This has all been spritzed. So the next step is, I believe, going to be, I've got to get everything off of this, flip it up, spray the underside real quick, pull it out, spray back behind here, and then I'll be able to give that a second to dry before I put it back in place, and then I should be able to set the carpet out where I want it. I may have to rearrange the sofas. I'll probably end up doing the underside of this one, and then get that kind of back into position so I can place this carpet, this area rug, back where it was going. Probably what I'm going to have to do. And then at that point, I'll have room that I can unload this love seat and get it done top to bottom. And then I can start rearranging once this thing has been shampooed and dried. That's about it. That's what I'm doing all day. It's taken as long as it is because it is a lot of work to constantly squeeze, and you switch hands, and you constantly look at what it's doing to my. I've already got poison ivy and everything else to deal with, but I'm getting these indents. See that dark spot there. So, try not to give myself a repetitive stress injury. So, this is my third squirt bottle I just finished. Now I'm doing the update. I'm going to sit and take a little break. And in about 15-20 minutes, probably come back and do some more. So anyways, yeah, bit by bit, I'm getting everything in here coated. It smells like somebody's been coloring Easter eggs instead of painting the room now. And yeah, but the benefit of having to deal with that goofy smell is that there won't be any mold, there won't be any mildew. And eventually when this is all done and everything is set back in place, then I'll also be scattering, of course, a bunch of dry borax along the edges for ant control as well, and other insects. The thing with borax and insects is that the crystals are sharp enough and hard enough that if they are picked up with food or touched or brushed or walked across or whatever, the animals go to groom or preen or interact with others, and these crystals get on their carapace and they start to grate little, like sanding little holes in it. Once there's a penetration of the outer carapace, they begin to dehydrate and then they die. And so it's the easiest way to get the ants to just go where they go and die off is to have them walk through or across something like borax. So that was the whole point of it originally, because that was kind of something that helped with the ants when the ant killer wasn't prudent. And it definitely keeps them away. So that's kind of where we're at with it. There's obviously a lot more work to do. It's only about 2:30. I anticipate being done with this maybe 8 or 9 o'clock tonight. We will see. But yeah, it smells very interesting in here. It's not super humid, but got a ways to go. Opening between the two rooms because I've got these, both of these sliding doors have been completely coated with the vinegar borax solution and then closed in so that they can dry inside. And potentially some of that gets around to the other mold as well, because it's really hard to get back into that pocket. It's just a pocket. There's no wood studs. It's a metal frame. The drywall is kind of attached to the front of it. And yeah, so that's where we're at with it. Next update, I'll probably be rearranging couches. It's a little bit after 5, another couple of hours. Been at it off and on. I poured a whole bunch, sprayed a whole bunch. The floor's kind of soft again, so I got the fan on high, got the cinder block holding it down. I'll show you what the progress in here is. It smells like vinegar. All right, so I removed everything from this sectional, this part here, and including the tables and everything, the cushions. I sprayed the undersides of the cushions. I sprayed the whole bottom area that everything goes in. I sprayed the fronts, the backs, the sides, the underneath of this, having it tip back. I got a whole bunch of borax poured down again. And so then I went on, did this one, same exact thing, pulled the cushions off and sprayed the undersides of the cushions like that, sprayed the whole area that it goes into, sprayed the tops and bottoms, the sides, flipped it up, sprayed the bottom underneath, put it back down and slid it over here. I worked this thing out. I had it rotated so I could fit the whole thing where that was pushed all the way back. And I vacuumed it. After vacuuming it, I kind of walked on it, sniffed at it, felt it. It's dry and there is no mildew or mold, and it's got the underside of it coated with the misting of borax vinegar. So I decided not to wash this carpet. It's pretty clean. Got right down on it. All I can smell is vinegar. Not just from the room, but like the carpet itself has the sour smell. So there's not much more I could do for it right now anyway. It would be kind of a waste of time, because then it would be hours waiting on it to dry after vacuuming. So these have been sprayed a while. I believe it's about ready that I can put it back together. This couch is where it's going to be. I got swept up the floor underneath of everything, and then I put down some fresh borax powder all along stuff. So basically the only next step I have here is to put this couch back together, get the things that were sitting on it, sitting back on it. The reason it's covered in stuff is because the inside of this couch can be accessed by a cat, and I don't want them crawling in and getting stuck or whatever. So once I have the cushions on, I've got all of these things that sit on it here that basically just keep it from being accessible like that. It's not really getting used by anyone else, but I'm not getting rid of the couch because otherwise it functions okay. Could definitely do to get some suede cleaner, but overall it's okay. So anyways, the rest of the floor is pretty clean. It's going to take some sweeping and some spraying. Once I'm done with this stuff over here, I'm going to kind of clear all the firewood stack and everything here out. This has been sitting here for long enough that I can move it, and it's not been used for over a year. And I don't think I lit a single fire this past winter at all. So anyways, I got to pour some of the vinegar borax down along the edge of this, I guess maybe inside of I don't think it'll need to be poured inside the grate, but underneath around it, because there are like floor areas to it. It kind of all depends on if it's bare concrete or if it's a steel pan underneath there. And there's an access in from the pantry on the other side of the wall through that way that I'll probably end up dumping some more borax powder down in, because that was completely covered in the powder before the flooding. And it definitely tried to reach up. There was a couple places where water tried seeping in the entryway pantry. The deepest inner sanctum of the house was attempting to have water. But yeah, everything else in here has been sprayed. This is pretty much done. See, there's a little bit more drying to do here, but probably what I'll end up doing is moving the dehumidifier over here, or closing this door and letting that dehumidifier run more in here. As far as this room goes, I believe it's pretty well done. Things can be put back together just about any time. I'm going to give it another day just to let everything dry out. Since I did mist everything, spray it good, we just let it all dry. And I don't know that you will necessarily see the twinkle of borax crystals at this moment, but it will be. I had a gallon of vinegar that I've used about 2/3 of. I also had 4 cups of water, so I've gone through a gallon of liquid spraying. You can see that sprayer there's got just a little left in the bottom. That is the 4th spray bottle. So I've just about, out of a gallon of this, I had 4 cups of water. And those 4 cups had 2 cups of borax dissolved into, and then I mixed in with vinegar. Now this is another bottle of vinegar. But anyways, just to show you the amount, the bottle that I've been draining off of is to about here, and I've poured everything back into it. So I've been through a full gallon of this liquid. Everything is well coated. Everything has been misted. Smells reasonably fresh in here. Doesn't really have the dankness of a room that was flooded 3 days ago. Standing water on the floor all the way up to here, flowing through between rooms, coming out the cracks, all the dingy funk. None of that is recognizable at this time. So we're just about done with it. My cats can finally be relaxed about coming into here, because they've been bugging. They've been cut out of 2 rooms, and they're not going in the bedroom. I'm keeping that shut off because I still haven't figured out the pooping on the floor thing. But they're all like, oh, but I want to lay on the bed. Yeah, I'm sure you do. I'm sure you do. But I don't want to pick up poop off the floor. So this is where we stand. I'm going to stop recording this. I'm going to go ahead and put the couch thing back together and stack everything up and kind of decide where to go from there. But as far as the drying and cleaning and everything in this room, it just took a couple of days with the dehumidifier, some denatured alcohol, and then some vinegar and borax to retard and prevent future mold and mildew. For being such a dank, humid room, this should end up being pretty clean. So that's what I got. I don't know if there's going to be anything else to report, but because I didn't have to vacuum the carpet too, we're sitting here almost 5:15, 5:30, and I don't have to worry about getting this done at 8 o'clock. So looks pretty good. Calling it good. All right, so everything's back in place. The door is open. This thing is humidity sticking all over the place. I've resprayed the door. I've got this dehumidifier going in here on its own, kind of dry that room out real good. Probably going to suck a bunch of humidity out of the attic too. But yeah, so I resprayed the inside of the door on here. There's a whole bunch of spots. All right, so then I took what was left in the jug of vinegar borax. It was about another 4 cups. And it all went underneath the fireplace via a couple of little spots. And I hit this little bit here. That's actually kind of a gap underneath of the wall. And there you can see there's a teensy little bit. All the rest of it ran straight underneath. So there's definitely a place underneath there where water was flowing. And I've just put a significant amount that just rolled straight in. So hopefully that helps control mold inside the walls a little bit. And with that, there's really not a lot more to do other than kind of some basic little tidying here and to see about, oh, see, now we're all exploring. A few more things I gotta set straight here. Ciao, babies. They don't even know. They don't even know what to do, what to make of it. They don't know. So basically, I got all this stuff that's on here to keep the cats from being on it. That's the real reason this stuff is on here, is just to keep them from being on it. Because otherwise they might decide they want to mark it. Maybe since everybody's been spayed, they won't be like that, but you never know. So now we got Babies here. Of course, she wants to go outside. I guess for the ending part of this, I'm going to let her out. I'm going to show something about the soil after this rain. Go, Babies. First time you've been on the porch since Sunday. Yep. Come on, princess. Come on. Gotta close the door. What's your tail? Okay, you can see out here, there's still a bunch of moisture coming out of the in-between of all the pavers. Now, there is a drain tile underneath of all of this, but the ground was so saturated that everything here is still damp. I've been pouring out the water from the dehumidifier around here, but I believe more of the ground is damp than just that. I don't know, it's drying out in places, it's wet in others. See, there's still a little bit of dampness on some of that wood even. Like, it's been 2 or 3 days. It has not rained since. It's been heavy dew at night, but not rain. And, oh, this stuff is nice and soft now. And in between, was it yesterday? Yeah, yesterday I mowed this. Got the front lawn here. And back a ways over the hill. There's more to do, obviously, but it was hot. I was getting tired and sore. My neck started popping. For a while there yesterday, my neck muscles were tense enough that I didn't have to worry about anything wobbling around. And then as soon as I got done with the work, they started relaxing. My neck just started going clickety-clack. So I went to bed early, slept really hard and woke up feeling okay today. I've also noticed this, I believe it's poison ivy and some heat rash or whatever, but it's still there. It's kind of like when I had the edema in my feet, and it just kept. It's not happening now, but it just stayed around for a while. So I got rash all over. I don't know if it's sweat rash or something from the borax in the rainwater. Or I mean, I've showered since then even, but my boots got damp, so I don't really know whether that's an allergic reaction or a poison ivy thing. I've been taking Benadryl. It's been working mostly. This rash on my arm here gets much more pronounced when I wake up, but if I'm asleep and I just pop my eyes open, it's almost gone. So I don't know if it's a blood pressure thing or what. But yeah, so, and I cleared all this out when I mowed. This whole thing has finally been cut, except for this one little plant around the corner. Needs hit, but the mower couldn't get it. Figure out what I'm going to do with all this stuff here. And yeah, so after the rain here, it's been 3 days now. I got some of this grass cut before it got too obnoxious, because all that rain makes it grow. Like I said, ample humidity all over the place here. There's you can see down there, there's still damp concrete. There's not been any rain, but it's still wet. So that's what it's doing. That's what I'm dealing with. And it's about beer 30. Oh yeah. So that's what we got. This room is pretty well back together. I've had the windows open. Clicking noise. I couldn't figure out what that was. Anyways, yeah, so I've had the windows open, not using the air conditioner at all. And I think we're kind of at a point here where I may close these up and turn the air on, because it's about 77 in here, but with the humidity outside, it's really not helping any of this at all. But I had to keep this open with the fan running while this is evaporating, and so I couldn't leave it closed. So I'm about to close the windows up, I think, and turn on the air, and then this dehumidifier should just go nuts. And it should only take one afternoon here for that mud room in the front there to dehumidify, and then I can take the other dehumidifier out here too and really start drying the place out, because there's moisture in here from all of that as well, and it'll be nice to get that out. So that's pretty much the end of it for the cleaning and restoration of the front room. Everything is now done. It only took me 3 days. Hooray.